Hi everyone, in this video we'll be learning how to cut and sew this bell sleeve that you're currently seeing on this dress. My name is Oluwato saying in case this is the first video of mine that you're coming across, and you're welcome. To all my returning subscribers, you're also welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by today's video. So I uploaded a detailed tutorial on how I was able to cut and sew this dress, but I didn't talk about the sleeve, and I mentioned in that video that I'll be uploading a detailed tutorial on how to cut and sew these bell sleeves, and that is what this video is all about. In case you are new here, please consider subscribing, and don't just subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video on this channel. So obviously I used this chantilly lace for mine, and the quantity you'll be folding, I folded for the two sleeves at the same time. So the quantity you'll be folding depends on how wide you want the bell part of your sleeve to be. So in my case, what I did was I measured her armhole and then I added half of her armhole. This person's armhole is 17. So I measured 17 and I added 8.5. So 17, like the armhole plus half of the person's armhole. You can measure the armhole times two. Just depends on how wide you want the belt to be, like I said. But for the sake of this tutorial, what I did was just to measure an armhole, which is 17, and then I measured half of the 17 to it. That means I used 25.5 inches in total. Let me just approximate it to 26 inches. So I measured two of that because I'm cutting for the two sleeves at the same time, just so I can save time. Then fold this into two for the two sleeves. Then the next is to figure out the length of the sleeve. This person's long sleeve length is 24, but because it's always finer if this sleeve is a bit longer than the normal long sleeve length, I measured 28. Now for that 28, the bell is going to start somewhere around the three-quarter length, let's say like 20 inches. So I marked 20 inches from the up, and on that point of 20 inches, I divided a round sleeve at that point by 2, then I added 1 inch sewing allowance. I went up a bit for a short sleeve length. I divided the measurement around a short sleeve length by 2, and then I added a 1 inch allowance. Then I divided a round sleeve around the biceps region by 2, and I added 1 inch allowance. Then I proceeded to marking out the armhole. I divided the armhole by 2. I added 1 inch allowance for sewing as well. Then I connected all these points together and I just drew it out to the whole of my fabric. Then I proceeded to cutting this out. After cutting it out, the next is I'll be shortening the length around at the front. The length at the front will be like 2 inches shorter than the length at the back. I mean on the wrist side, like on the hand. So I went up with 2 inches at the front and then I connected it to the back. Then for the armhole, our armhole front is always supposed to be shorter than back with like 1 inch. So I shortened the front of the armhole by 1 inch. The short part is the front and the longer part is the back. Then I just measured the 2 inches I spoke about and I marked it and connected it to the part where the joining will be on the sleeve, and I cut it out. And basically that is it for the cutting of the sleeve. To start sewing the sleeve, I started sewing by folding the edge, the down first. So I double folded the down for the two sleeves, and after folding the down I proceeded to shaping the sleeve. So to shape, you're going to face right side to right side just the way you cut it out, and after facing right side to the right side, you'll be measuring a round sleeve around the bicep region. You mark that. Round sleeve around the short sleeve length, you mark that. Then round sleeve around that 20 inches where the bell will start from. That side has to be firm. So you measure the round sleeve around that side and you mark it. Then you join, like connect the markings together and just sew across the point where you've marked. It is that simple, and basically that is it for how to cut and sew this sleeve. And after sewing, After shaping the sleeve, give it a very good press and you attach it to the armhole of your dress or of your top, whatever it is that you are sewing, and it is that simple. If at this point you are still with me and you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing and then just subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video on this channel. Thank you so much for being with me from the beginning of this tutorial till this point. If you have any question, do not hesitate to ask me down in the comment section, and as much as possible you can just help me share my video amidst your soulmate. You don't know who this video might be helpful to. And like I mentioned earlier, I made a detailed tutorial on how I was able to cut and sew the whole of this dress. The link to that tutorial will be down in the description box. Then I also made a detailed tutorial on how I was able to cut and make the structured sleeve that is on the sleeve. You can see that this dress has two sleeves. Aside this bell sleeve, there is also a structured sleeve on one side of it. So I already uploaded a detailed tutorial on how I was able to make this structured sleeve. If you've not seen that video as well, the link to it will be down in the description box, or you can just click on any of these boxes that are currently showing on your screen. One of them contains the video to the cutting and sewing of this dress, and the other one is the video to the cutting and making of that structured sleeve. And I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.